With more than 60 societies and growing, there's a uniquely important TAG society whose members are made up of a broad cross-section of Atlanta's top business and technology community executives, all with an interest in advancing every technology sector in Georgia. That's right. And if that were not enough to make them one of TAG's most important societies, they were organized in 1981, years before TAG became a fledgling reality. Greetings, everyone, and welcome from the Technology Association of Georgia. It's Tuesday, June 16th, 2015, and this is Tech Talk. I'm your host, Frank Baia. The Business and Technology Alliance, better known as BETA, is the most tenured of many technology industry trade associations in Georgia. In fact, in 1998, BETA became a founding society of the newly formed Technology Association. Its focus through the decades and now into the future remains making technology work, thinking innovatively, outside the box, enhancing leadership skills, finding new ways to overcome barriers to innovation, and for entrepreneurs, new channels to promote their technologies. On this edition of Tech Talk, it's a special focus on TAG's BETA, the Business and Technology Alliance, as we speak with its co-chair, Adam Herndon of Jabian Consulting. Adam is a director at Jabian's Atlanta office, where he focuses on delivering management and IT consulting services. For the past several years, he's been focused on guiding automotive clients, solving their most complex business and IT problems. It's a unique look into one of TAG's founding organizations and now one of its most dynamic societies, and a special invitation and an exclusive insight into BETA's leading-edge upcoming event on connected car innovations in Georgia. A Tech Talk all about fostering business innovation through the exploration of technological advancements and the ways these technologies can help corporations and all industry across the state to solve complex problems and be more competitive. As we talk BETA, past, present, and beyond, with its society co-chair, Director of Jabian, Adam Herndon. This edition of Tech Talk is brought to you by GlobalSpeak.com, new media consultants, corporate video and audio communications, video and audio production and distribution, live and virtual event production. TAG TV and TAG Radio is a service of GlobalSpeak.com, creatively delivering powerful marketing, video, and audio solutions. Adam, welcome to Tech Talk.
Well, thanks, Glenn. Thank you for having me.
One of the interesting things that we get to do is explore, obviously, a lot of verticals across a whole now span of the industry we now call, quote-unquote, the technology industry. A lot of times, just out of simple busyness of the time, we don't really get an opportunity to put things in context. But there was a time when the Business and Technology Alliance was a separate entity that got together with others to form the federation that we know as TAG. And at that time, business and technology would have been so opposed to each other, not opposition, but so different in terms of what their business activities were. There needed to be kind of a collaborative environment where they could learn about each other. I mean, in this day and age, it's hard to believe that anyone could even run a business without technology.
Exactly.
But from kind of that perspective in the long and successful tradition of the Business and Technology Alliance, here we are today. Tell our listening audience, and I know many of them are aware just by the accomplishments, but go into a little bit about, for the listeners who don't know about the society, tell us a little bit about the Business and Technology Alliance Society. What's it all about?
Well, that Business and Technology Alliance Society, or otherwise known as BETA, as you mentioned, is really one of those founding societies way back when TAG was just getting started. So like you said, it's been around for a while. Our focus these days is to really highlight innovation and where that is taking place in Georgia, and working to really show that and celebrate it in the Georgia community. The innovation can be anywhere from an innovative piece of software, technology, people, and or process. Again, just trying to celebrate it and get that out there so that the community can see it. We actually host or support many events throughout the year, like the Excalibur Awards in the fall, and the Leading Edge series, which is coming up, which is something that we'll talk about in a little bit more detail.
Well, I think one of the things that we get a chance when we do talk to society chairs, and by the way, I know that in the introduction we commented, Adam is the chair of the Business and Technology Alliance Society, is the fact that a lot of the societies are touch points. While they're specifically about a particular mission or purpose and certain programs cover a certain aspect, it's an incredible way to make a touch at one place that it gets you involved in so many aspects of the whole environment of technology. And certainly each year, over and over, there becomes more signature events, and as the societies mature, better ways of making that touch point more efficient. I know you guys, as you just commented, are coming up with something really unique and different, and that is a leading edge event. Give us a little information about what that's all about, and maybe even get specific in terms of who's going to be on the panel.
Sure. Well, our leading edge event is one that we host annually. This is going to be our 4th annual event, and it's coming up in a few weeks on Thursday, June 25th. We're going to get things kicked off at 5:30 p.m. Probably start with a little bit of networking just to allow folks to get to talk to the panelists, get to know each other, and then we'll get things kicked off from there. This event on the 25th is actually going to focus on connected car technologies here in Georgia. Mm-hmm. Expecting a great discussion, and I think we actually really do have a great panel. And our focus when we were pulling this event together and the panel itself was to try to show the many aspects of that connected car technology ecosystem itself. And I think we've done that in terms of the panelists. Like you were saying, the people that we have on it are going to be from AT&T's Internet of Things division, Cox Automotive's new venture division, a person from Panasonic's development, and then the Park Mobile itself.
Well, one of the things that I've heard just recently, someone commented that the car with all of the technologies that are now in it, and of course what will be coming in the future, is actually the most wearable technology that you can have.
Exactly.
And I guess it's almost obvious why you guys are so focused on this thing, but connected car technologies, obviously a buzz technology, everybody's talking about it, but maybe why is it relevant specifically not only today but in Georgia?
And connected car technology is definitely one of those hot topics across the nation. And I believe that it's actually one that has very significant presence here in Georgia. Just in terms of the automotive industry, there are several OEMs here, original equipment manufacturers here in Georgia that actually call Atlanta or surrounding Atlanta their headquarters. So that's awesome. Georgia is actually the heart of the supply chain and logistics for that southeast corridor. We even have several innovation labs here located in the city. There's AT&T, Panasonic, General Motors, just to name a few. And then we also have, as I mentioned in one of our panelists, one of the major players in automotive services, which is Cox Automotive. And in terms of startups themselves, there's more than I can count here in Georgia. And if you really think about this from just the strong university system that we have here, the business-friendly environment, it makes Georgia very desirable to companies, especially the automotive, which is a high-tech industry, and that just helps bring in that connected car technologies here to Georgia.
We talked, I mentioned earlier about Tech Talks having the opportunity to work horizontally across all of the different verticals, and so many times it's a cliche, we say that it's the same thing, only different. They're all being impacted by the technologies of now and future technologies, the cloud and high-speed connectivity, the apps, and of course one of the buzzes that everybody's talking about is the technology of Internet of Things. And I would think that connected car technology is probably the best representation of that application being almost fully used and being one of the first to benefit, probably the greatest, from all of the potential connectivity of what that new technology will represent.
Yep.
So I think, once again, obviously the relevancy of the topic, and I think you bring out a really strong point as far as the investment in Georgia, as far as the auto industry. A lot of people aren't aware of that. But also the other players, even Park Mobile, these are players that are going back to that Internet of Things, that are leveraging the transportation industry and the technology involvement and disruptive abilities to bring yet another advancement, not only to, it's one of those where Georgia leads. I got a feeling that in the next couple of years, if not even the next year, we're going to be calling connected car technologies as one of the areas where we lead.
Yep.
Well, since we're mined so deep into the leading edge event and got particular about the topic, probably it would be a good thing to maybe close up our conversation so that our listening audience can plan their calendar, and that is, what can someone attending at the event actually get out of it? I think a lot of cases, unfortunately, with all of the great things that we have an opportunity to participate in, you kind of get selective and got to kind of say, what's in it for me? So talk a little bit about what they can expect to get out of it.
Yep, great question. And just at the highest level, we're really hoping for an engaging conversation between our panelists as well as our audience. So we're looking for some interaction there so that folks can learn and engage. It's up to me as we're trying to focus on this event. I'd really like the folks when they leave this to get a better understanding of what is the state of the connected car technology and the present day impacts for it. Also, just where is Georgia leading in these technologies? And then as folks are leaving, the last thing I'd want them to just think about or know more about is what is the future of those connected car technologies, especially here in Georgia.
Well, I think I will close it with maybe some specifics. Mark your calendars, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, it's an upcoming event that's right on deadline. So, again, you mentioned just briefly, Adam, give us the specifics again about time and place, and also maybe a location where our listeners can register if they're interested.
Yep, you can go out to TAG's website, so tagonline.org, and look for the Business and Technology page, and it'll be there. You can look on our most recent event. It'll be on June 25th, starting at 5:30, and things will really start kicking off probably around 6 p.m. for the panel itself.
Exciting topic. It sounds like the panel is one of a kind, a great event. Everybody's going to be, I know I'm going to be looking forward to be participating. It's too much information not to want to be there and hear it firsthand. Adam, thank you so much for taking time out of all of the things you do. I know you're with Jabian, and the growth and activity and the involvement that the organization has is amazing, and we thank you guys for all that you do. But also, when you're the chair of a society and you're doing such a good job the way you are, we want to reach out and say thank you for the service that you provide. And really, just as a wrap-up, to say thank you for taking time out of, I'm sure, a very busy schedule to join us for a few minutes today on Tech Talk.
Well, thank you very much. I enjoyed it.